Fresno State, going to be taking a look at the USU and their new esports arena, seeing if we can make any suggestions and build out recommendations for their little esports arena. Everything was cool at Fresno State. Got to revisit the USU. I hadn't been there in many years. And the Fresno State esports kind of took over the spot where the arcade games were down by the bowling alley. And they need help putting in a switcher computer and a space for announcers and maybe some interviews for future esports tournaments. So we're going to put together a plan, take a look at what they already have, make some recommendations of what they still need, and go from there. Hello, welcome to my garage. We are in here this evening because the Riot drive system for the Exway Wave arrived last week. Gilbert brought it over and asked me if I would install it, and this is the first time I've had all week to get to install it. So you're going to watch me struggle in swapping out the hub motors for the Riot drive motors that's the belt motor system. I don't exactly know what I'm doing, so I also have my iPad out here if I need to look up a video on doing this install, but I'm going to give myself an hour to try to swap this out. Okay, let's see. There's just a flat box in here. Have the actual belts themselves. Cool. Got a couple screws with nuts. Some Allen keys. And the motors, oh, they already have belts on them. So I think I just replace this on the trucks. I just take off this set of trucks, put on this set of trucks, and plug this stuff in. Okay, this seems less intimidating than I was originally imagining. Okay, so there don't seem to be any instructions, so I'm just going to try to do this by eye. Okay, so let's start with the tool for getting the top part of the trucks off. This one. I'm probably supposed to remove the battery first so I don't electrocute myself, right? That's how these things work. Ah, there we go. All right, batteries removed. Safety first. 180 watt hours. Can't take this on a plane. All the extra info down there. Okay, where was I? Yes, removing this here. Okay, and there's little screws in here screwing in the plugs, holding them in place. Interesting plug design. All right, so I'm gonna need some precision screwdrivers. this here. Better not lose these screws because I essentially need them for this next motor. Oh, just okay. Yep. Ah, there we go. All right. Hub motor wheels are off. Got them a little dirty and a little scratched up, but not too bad. Let's compare the weight. Oh, they're pretty close. This is a little bit heavier. The belt drive system's a little bit heavier, but not by too much. All right. So yeah, this is the direction this is gonna go, I think. Right, it's gonna go on like this. No, can't go on like that. This way? Gonna go that way? That seems right. I'm just so used to other boards that put the motors on this side. But yeah, this is a short board with a kick tail, so you don't want the motors to get smushed when you're kicking it back. Yeah, all right, cool. But first, let's flip this around and plug the cables in and then tighten them down. All the way. Okay, let's put the 6 screws back. All right, got the cables plugged in with their little plates, and let's screw in the plates. I think this helps make it more weather resistant as well, having the cable, its plug, and then putting a little plastic plate over it. I guess before I get too far screwing all this in, I should test and see if the motors work. So let's put the battery back on. Oh, I'm getting a motor overheat warning. Incorrect motor on the app. So I need to use my phone to tell it that it's got a different motor plugged in.
A few inches later.
Okay, used the app, told the app, and the board that we now have the Riot drive on, not just the hub motor. And I confirmed that power is getting to the motor and it spins, which is great. So I think I can start. I can continue reattaching all of these screws and then properly put the trucks back together. Okay, put this rubber spacer on, its little metal washer, and the nut. Got the tool. Actually, I wanted to tighten this up too. When I rode to my parents' house, I felt it was a little loose. So tighten that half turn. And let's power it up. Let's make sure it still works. Whoo! So that is quite a bit noisier than the hub motors. I guess I should have did a sound check with the camera here beforehand, but yeah, I think the hub motors, the main complaint is you don't feel as connected to the motors as you do the belt drive motors, which seems a little silly because the motor's right there in the wheel, and here the motor's over here, and it's driving it. But yeah, I just think you get a little bit more instant torque out of belt drive motors, which helps you feel a bit more connected to the board. And yeah, it's a little dark, or it is dark outside right now. I can't really give you a good example of what it's like to ride, but I think I'm going to take this with me tomorrow to CMAX, so we'll ride around a little bit tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'm going to just take it for a very quick spin. Just make sure I think it's solid for tomorrow. I think mostly just to see if I need to tighten the trucks or loosen the trucks some more. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. I don't know, what'd this take? A half hour? Almost an hour? And yeah, I think the belt drive motor is going to feel a lot more tight and fun than the hub motors. Trade-off is it's louder, but that might be a good thing to help let other people know I'm approaching, or if they can't see me, they can maybe hear me instead. The only other modification I think we need to do to this board, and I'll check with Gilbert beforehand, but that's replace this grip tape and maybe take the foam that's under the grip tape out. I've been complaining about this since I started riding it, this grip tape on the foam. One, like, it's for comfort, but two, I want to feel more connected to the board, and I think the belt drive motor is going to help with that, but I think also removing the foam between the board and the grip tape and putting new grip tape on is going to help with that. So I also, it bubbled, and then I rode it a little bit last week, and I wasn't paying attention to the bubbles, and I'm usually in the vlog, you see me like make little clips of me trying to step on the grip tape to flatten it back out, but it bubbled up here, and I stepped on it, and it kind of got caught underneath, and it ended up tearing. So I definitely need to replace the grip tape on this board. But yeah, it's a tiny bit heavier. It's a hair heavier than the hub motor assembly, but not by too much. Yeah, so let's jump to tomorrow, and I could probably talk more about the belt drive motor, the Riot system, the Exway Wave, after riding it a little bit.
The next day.
Just dropped off Lauren, and I've got the Riot drive on the Exway Wave. Let's see how it does through downtown Fresno. Hey, we asked them to do that. It's definitely a lot more torquey than the hub wheels. I can definitely get off the line faster than before. It's quite different. Definitely feels more like a boosted board or anything else with belt motor. Had some of the studio spaces painted over the weekend. Now that we got gray instead of tan. The RGB lights look so good on the gray walls. And we routed the signal from the display recorder to BNC or SDI into the wall so we can just go live right from here. So fancy. Hi Willow! Hi Willow! Hi Willow!
Ready? Come on!
Gilbert picked me up from CMAC because he had some stuff to take to Brandon's house. So I'm riding the Exway Wave with the Riot drive back home. It is a very nice ride. When I first started riding the hub motors, the hub motor wheels, when the Exway Wave first came in, I was like, you know what, it's not that different. I think I can get used to this. Now that the Riot belt drive motor system is on here, it's really nice. It is definitely worth the upgrade to get the belt motor, the Riot motor. All right, so the last thing I wanted to check was to see if the Riot belt motor drive system was gonna impact the battery life and range, and it doesn't seem to have changed the range compared to the standard hub motors. So I think this is a very solid upgrade. If you have an Exway board, putting the Riot motor on it, it makes the ride so much more fun. I really feel much more connected to the board with this motor, and to no detriment of the range or the battery at all. That's it for me today. I've got to go and make dinner, so I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.